Welcome. I am Day, a woman in recovery from loss, grief, trauma, and addiction. I have found that in my years of active recovery, that when I awake, it is useful for me to affirm and devote myself to the me of my recovery, the one who ties all of the pieces of me together gently and lovingly to face each day. With these daily affirmations, reflections, and devotions, walk with me on the journey of renewal and self reflection. And remember that you are not alone. Fair use. January 19th. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. January 19th. Round the clock faith. Faith has to work 24 hours a day in and through us, or we perish. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 16. The essence of my spirituality and my sobriety rests on a round-the-clock faith in a higher power. I need to remember and rely on the God of my understanding as I pursue all of my daily activities. How comforting for me is the concept that God works in and through people. As I pause in my day, do I recall specific concrete examples of God's presence? Am I amazed and uplifted by the number of times this power is evident? I am overwhelmed with gratitude for my God's presence in my life of recovery. Without this omnipotent force in my every activity, I would again fall into the depths of my disease and death. Fair use. Courage to change. One day at a time in Al-Anon. January 19. Today I seek to become a little more accepting of myself, a little more comfortable in my own skin. Although it is important to recognize and admit my limitations and flaws, only my higher power can remove them. Condemning my imperfections have never enhanced my appreciation of life or helped me to love myself more. Perhaps I can let go of all condemnation for this one day. I will recognize that I am on a spiritual path of self-improvement. Every tiny step I take on that path moves me closer to wholeness, health, and serenity. If I become impatient with myself, I can examine my expectations. Perhaps I expect recovery to happen overnight. I will take time today to acknowledge my efforts and to trust the process of the Al-Anon program. Today's reminder: Al-Anon is a gentle healing program. I will remember to be gentle with myself today, trusting that the healing will come. Today I can accept myself for what I am, because I know that whatever happens, I have a higher power and a group of people who will love me anyway in all our affairs. Fair use. Just for today. Daily meditations for recovering addicts. Making mountains into molehills, January 19. When we stop living in the here and now, our problems become magnified unreasonably. Basic text, page 99. Some of us seem to make mountains out of molehills with our problems. Even those of us who found some measure of serenity have probably blown a problem far out of proportion at some time in our recovery. And if we haven't done so yet, we probably will before too long. When we find ourselves obsessed with a complication in our lives, we will do well to sharply remind ourselves of all that is going right. Perhaps we're afraid we won't be able to pay our bills for the month. Instead of sitting at the calculator adding our financial liabilities over and over again, we can take stock of our efforts to reduce expenses. Following this mini inventory, we continue with the task at hand and remind ourselves that as long as we're doing the footwork, a loving higher power will care for our lives. Mountain-sized problems happen sometimes, but we don't need to create them. Trust in a loving God of our understanding will put most of our problems in their proper perspective. We no longer need to create chaos to feel excited about our lives. Our recovery gives us countless real-life opportunities for excitement and drama. Just for today, I will take a realistic look at my problems and see that most of them are minor. I will leave them that way and enjoy my recovery. Fair use. Today, Emotions Anonymous, January 19. Reflections for today. There are some days when I do not feel capable of meeting any challenges. There are some days when I do not feel confident and wish I had more abilities. Those are the days when I have to remind myself often that I can meet challenges and can accomplish whatever I have to do. That I do have the ability to make good decisions. I need to remind myself that my higher power and I are greater than any challenge. When we are working together, I am capable of using my God-given talents and abilities, and nothing can interfere with my success. Meditation for today. Help me to remember I'll start that over. I will back up. Meditation for today. Help me remember that you and I can handle anything. Today I will remember to begin each day with a positive attitude because I know I can rely on my partner. Fair use. Strengthening my recovery, meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. January 19. Recreation. Yet our children and relationships were still mired in our dysfunctions. We recreated the abandonment and loss of our own childhood. BRB, that's the Big Red Book, page 21. Many of us tried to raise our families differently, but without ACA or another type of intervention, we were like our parents. We could only give what we had. This meant we made a lot of wrong choices. We may even have become alienated from our children, finding that they resented us, just as we resented our parents. ACA presents us with a choice. Stay and get better in a way that might someday repair our relationships, or feel hopeless and continue to fill ourselves with self blame and shame. If we choose ACA, we must let go of the fact that we didn't find help earlier, excuse me, when it could have prevented so much pain. We accept that change takes time, so we get our heads on straight and concentrate on taking care of ourselves. As we're ready, we learn to present in a healthy way for our children. Let me back that up. As we're ready, we learn to be present in a healthy way for our children. If we're separated from them, we hope they come back to us. But if they don't, we continue to love them and pray they find their way. On this day, I will take care of myself first. Only then will I be available to my family if they ask for emotional support. Please remember to share, like, and subscribe. And most of all, be the you that you are created to be.